Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Your boy is back with the Sports Podcast. I'm your host. Here with my boy Flipside tonight. What's going on, homeboy?
Not much, man. Just after this fantasy week is almost over.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I want to apologize to the viewers out there for me being late because they kept me late at work. And also, Wazata won't be joining us tonight. Some things came up. So, of course, shout out to him as always. He's a valued member of the podcast team. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about Week 16. Or like let's talk about Week 15. All right, what do you want to do first? Do you want to talk about the playoff picture now? Do you want to talk about the playoff picture now, or do you want to wait until the end to talk about it?
I want to read to the end, man, because we got a lot to talk about that too.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, week 15 was a very, very strange week. The majority of teams who hold the playoff spot all lost. The top three teams in the AFC, well, with the exception of the New Orleans Saints, which they easily could have lost that game. They could have easily lost to the Carolina Panthers. Like, yeah, they scared me. I mean, the thing is, it's so weird. And let me talk about my Pittsburgh Steelers right quick. The Pittsburgh Steelers are strange. They are so bipolar. Let me get this straight. You're on a 3-game losing streak. You lose to the second worst team in the league the week before, but you beat the New England Patriots, a team that has had your number for the better part of the decade. And not only that, but the New England Patriots were held to 10 points. The last time, according to statistics, the last time that the New England Patriots were held to 10 points or less was a decade and a half ago, 15 years ago. I think they said it was like October 2003 is the last time they scored 10 points. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My boy Prince, he's in the chat. What's going on, man? Just doing a sport podcast. But yeah, and also the Rams got exposed. It seems like you remember last week when I told you we're starting to see more and more chinks in their armor. I think a lot of teams are starting to figure it out, like especially NFC teams. And my boy Prince says that he has the Rams and the Saints in the NFC, which wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me. But like I said, we'll talk about the playoff picture after we do our predictions. But yeah, just your overall review of last week.
It was a weird week, man. A lot of teams that we had confidence in kind of showed us that these final few weeks before playoffs was when teams really start to kind of ramp it up.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it might just be everyone banged and bruised up. The season coming to an end soon, but man, a lot of teams we were hyping up just, I don't know, man, they're looking very beatable now. I feel like,
yeah,
to be honest, anyone can really win that NFC. I'm really confident.
Yeah.
The Bears might be the best team in the playoffs right now, at least for the NFC.
Yeah, and let me talk about, because I was going to say this last week, and I think this still might kind of hold true in the NFC conference, because as it stands right now, despite losing to San Francisco, the Seahawks still hold the still hold the wild card spot. But I mean, me personally, I think if you're a team like the Rams, the Seahawks is a team that you kind of don't want to face in the playoffs. If you're the Rams, you want to kind of avoid the Seahawks. What if they lost on purpose just so they could avoid playing them?
I don't think they want to do that. I feel like.
But you see where I'm coming from, though. Do you see where I'm coming from, though? Because they almost beat them twice in the regular season, twice.
Yeah, but that's too scary, man. You don't want to give up your rivalry for a matchup that you are avoiding. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but they hold the 5th seed right now. Oh, no, wait. Do they hold the 5th seed or the 6th seed? Because I think it might be the Vikings. I think it's switched up. Because I think I think last week the Vikings held the 5th seed and the Seahawks held the 6th seed, which means the 1st, 3rd, and the 5th seeds will play each other. Well, Seeds 3 and 5 will play each other, and seeds 2 and 4 will play each other, which means that the Seahawks would probably be facing the Saints instead, I think.
Well, okay, the Rams should be the second seed right now because
Yeah, the Rams are second seed.
yeah. And the thing is, the Bears are right up on them, man. Like the Rams could fall to the third seed very really quickly.
Yeah.
If they lose one more game, the Bears went on. I don't think they want to lose that bye week, man. So I don't see them potentially messing up their bye week just to kind of avoid a matchup. I think they can take their bye week to get healthy and then go in there with full confidence.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. But I mean, yeah. Anyway, what do you have for your game of the week for last week?
Game of the week. Damn. It's easy. The Thursday game.
Why am I not surprised? Kansas City and LA. It was a high scoring game too. But there was, I mean, yeah. But bias aside, do you still feel like there was a little bit of foolery from the referees?
What did you say?
Bias, putting your Chargers bias aside for a second, do you feel like there's a little bit of trickery from, like a little bit of tomfoolery from the referees?
Oh, absolutely.
Huh.
There was a ton of it was a lot of ref penalties.
On both sides. On both sides.
How to give that to us? There was a lot that were kind of like, come on.
But the thing is, KC had like 3 missed pass interference calls against them that they missed, and the Chargers, they had a lot of calls go their way. I mean, KC had 3 calls that went their way, at least from what I've seen, or three no calls that went their way. Yeah.
The ones that were most notable to me were, I think there was a touchdown I think we got from one call, but the most notable ones for me that night are the holding calls around like 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing some weird holding calls on the Chargers, and I was thinking like, are they trying to let the Chiefs milk the clock or something? And then the helmet penalty that they made up with the pass interference, I was thinking, okay, that was pretty obvious. And then the push off by Mike Williams for the touchdown, they could have called that. I just assumed they let him play on that one.
Yeah.
And yeah, but the rushing, they need to do something about the refs in these games. But the refs are definitely, I don't know, man. They're missing a lot of plays that are.
And they can't in the postseason. They can't do that.
Oh, absolutely. If they get in the postseason, it's a free fire.
Oh my God! Yes. Yeah.
Like, you're just asking for your job to be loved. So I expect the rest to be better in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They need to do something about the regular season game.
Mm-hmm. I have 2 games of the week, believe it or not. Philly and the Rams. That was my co-game of the week. And the other one is actually Dallas to Indianapolis. How the hell, if you're Dallas, how the hell do you go from beating one of the most feared teams in the in the NFC, in the New Orleans Saints, to getting completely shut out and embarrassed by the Indianapolis Colts, who are still in the hunt, by the way? But yeah, do you feel like that was more of Dallas getting exposed, or do you feel like Dallas had an off night, or do you feel like Indianapolis is more dangerous than we originally thought they were?
I think a lot of people are understanding Indy this entire season.
Mm-hmm. Because they're a sleeper team. They've won the last 7. They've won out of the last 8 games. They've won 7. So yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those situations where you're seeing the competition they're playing and you're kind of downplaying them because of it. And then they get to someone who you're respecting, like the Cowboys, and they make a statement game.
Yeah.
This is really a statement game. I don't know what the Cowboys are doing, but they just got torn apart by a defense that shouldn't be holding you to a shutout.
Yeah, they shouldn't be. Like, they're not even top 15 in the league as far as defense. But I think the reason why is because Dak was under so much pressure, and Zeke couldn't get anything going on the ground. Nothing.
It's ridiculous because we have Amari Cooper there now.
But he couldn't. He was forcing the ball out to him faster than he can catch it. So that was wrong. They had Dak on his heels. They had Dak on his back foot all day long. He was throwing the ball before he could plant his feet. That's why he was missing so many throws.
It's so weird because Dak has so much like he could do in the games. I feel like he has a super scramble. He's not a terrible passer, but he's a little inaccurate.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that he has the intangibles when you have a deep back there to kind of, scare that defense. Like they can't, I don't know, they can't like commit to the run if you're, rushing and passing up there. And I don't know.
Yeah.
That I'm so like that.
Yeah, really.
I know what you can probably with that.
Mm-hmm. Now, for the most improved team of the week. Now, my most improved team of the week was actually Philadelphia. And I give Philly all the credit in the world. And y'all thought that I was crazy when I said that, that they should keep Nick Foles and Walter Todd thought they should trade him. I'm like, what? Are you crazy? They should keep him. Because, don't get me wrong, because Carson Wentz has got it. But, nobody knows that scheme better than Nick Foles. Nick Foles is probably the best backup QB in the league right now, bar none. He is the best. And he knows what to do with that team. More so than well, I wouldn't say more so than, but just as good, just as well as Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, he's got a hell of an arm, but he just can't stay healthy. I don't know what the hell it is. But the thing is, excuse me. But the thing is, he should be backed by the playoff if they make it. The thing is, do you think that Nick Foles should start if they do make the playoffs?
No. I feel like what he did out there against the Rams, I feel like Carson Wentz did the exact same thing.
I don't know. Okay.
I give the credit to the Philly defense. They pressured the hell out of Jared Goff. They made him take some bad throws. Gurley tried to get it going, but he couldn't, and he had to sit out one drive in the third quarter. And the defense just took advantage, man. And especially when we see, I don't know, it's just, I wasn't like super impressed by Foles. He did what he had to do, but I just feel like we don't bench Carson Wentz again in the playoffs.
And oh man, Philly's running game. Philly's running game was something else.
Yeah, Josh Adams and William Small were killing it.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. And before we move on to our choke of the week, speaking of running games, oh man, Jalen Samuels from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's the third string running back, and he put up 146 yards against the New England Patriots. But mind you, the Patriots secondary have been sloppy this year, so you can go head to tails on that. But this is his first start, and he put up those kind of yards. I think the Steelers running game could be in safe hands, but we'll see about that.
At this point, do you feel like Le'Veon's value is kind of decreasing? This is the third running back the second running back to Le'Veon to kind of put up these numbers.
Yeah, and I think it's not just good luck. I think, because the running back position, but the thing is, I don't want to say that the running back position is expendable because it's not everybody can do what they do. But when you have those kind of numbers against an elite team, thing is, you kind of do want to question the value of, is Le'Veon Bell worth what he's asking? And when you got a third string putting up Le'Veon Bell type of numbers, you're like, maybe we don't want to dish out that kind of cash for you. But the thing is, James Conner, he probably won't be back until week 17, or they'll probably just hold him for the playoffs, which is probably the smarter idea to me. But yeah, I think that holdout kind of did make Le'Veon Bell look bad. But yeah. All right. Anyway, before we move on to our predictions, who is your choke of the week?
The Chiefs.
Wow.
You're up 14 points left, and your defense can't get it done. I mean, you can call the ref all you want, but you gave up 14 points before this. Like the ref can't do everything.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers took advantage of it. They beat them. They went for two. And, Chiefs choked pretty hard, especially at home.
Yeah.
I gotta say Chiefs choked.
Yeah. I can't really argue with that too much because I mean there was a couple of times that they were in the driver's seat and minus those calls they did kind of throw the game away. The thing is the coach he's got balls for that. Whoo, for that 2-point conversion call. I don't think it ain't many other people who would have called that. So yeah, good on him for that.
I was really surprised.
That was ballsy as hell.
I was scared, man. I really thought about it. I was like, come on, don't go for two. And then I realized you might as well come in here and try to beat him because Tyreek Hill could beat you on one play. So
Yeah. Yeah. He succeeded where Ron Rivera failed. So kudos to him. But yeah, that's also my choke of the week, unfortunately. But yeah. All right. Anywho, yeah. Week 16, Saturday Night Football. We got the Washington Redskins going on the road to face the Tennessee Titans. Who do you got? Skins, Titans.
Redskins, Titans. Derrick Henry has been balling, man.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know what has gotten into that guy. But he's a top tier running back in the league, apparently. Redskins, I think that was Josh Johnson or somebody.
Yeah, Josh Johnson.
Yeah, I'm not really having a lot of faith in him. Their team's kind of depleted. This should be a pretty easy one. Mariota should go in there and have a decent game. I mean, the Redskins defense is a little difficult, but yeah, he should be able to beat them. Especially if they just shut out the Giants. So yeah, I'm giving it to the Titans. I'm going to say Titans win 23-6.
Yeah, I mean, the Washington is kind of all over the place at this point, and Tennessee, while they haven't looked great in recent weeks, they're still solid. And I still think, with Mariota starting with, and as good as Tennessee's running game is, I think they should have more than enough in the tank to beat Washington because Washington defense, their defense has been flat. Their offense is crippled. So the thing is, they don't really have that much to rely on. I mean, and at this point, Tennessee's more healthier than them. So go on ahead and give me Tennessee by 8 points, 28-20 over the Skins. Next up, we got LA Chargers going up against the Baltimore Ravens, and the Chargers aren't home this game. Who you got? Chargers, Ravens.
Well, I think we might actually have a home game because we have bandwagon fans, probably. But the Ravens team, man, they're decent. Scary.
Yeah.
I'm not underestimating his defense. I think Lamar Jackson, whoever he's back there with, Kenneth Dixon or Gus Edwards, they can be a dangerous duo to design run plays. I'm going with the hot hand now. I'm going with the Chargers. We're at home, quote unquote, and we're kind of on fire. We're dedicated to getting this first round bye. I feel like we can do it. We might be without Keenan, but we're getting those Georgia back.
Yeah.
Maybe obviously Eckler back. But Mike Williams showed that he can take over that number one receiver role. So I got full confidence in our team. We just need Phillips to go out there and have a good game.
Yeah.
He's got to throw lights out and not kind of have those bad throws like in the Chiefs game. But I feel like we can stop this run game, and if we get ahead and force Lamar Jackson to start throwing, I think we got this. So I'm going to say Chargers win 27-20.
Now, Baltimore is a tricky team. Now, my better judgment is telling me to pick against them, well, because my Steelers bias, they're in the same division as us. But I'd be a fool to not give credit where it's due because Baltimore has given Kansas City all they can handle, even though they lost. They gave Kansas City, who's one of the more dangerous teams this year, all they can handle. And with Chargers, they have, their performances against teams have been good. But the thing is, in the past 3 or 4 games that they've won, they've scraped it out by 3 points or less. And you kind of got to watch yourself when you win games like that because teams will start to figure you out. And I mean, Lamar Jackson, I mean, we see how he is on the road. He's not great, but the thing is the defense is going to be bailing him out more than they're going to be able to handle. And Baltimore's running game is always decent. I mean, in the Chargers, they got Melvin Gordon back. Well, and Phillip Rivers, I mean, he's playing like, top 10 QB, top 5 QB again. So, whether Keenan Allen, shows up or not, I mean, that's still pending. I mean, he's questionable, but we'll see about that. This one really is a toss-up. But go on ahead and give me the Chargers by 3 points in this game, 27-24. All right, next up, AFC North divisional matchup. We got the Cincinnati Bengals going on the road against the Cleveland Browns at the Dog Pound. Who you got? Browns, Bengals.
Man, I'm so sad. No offense, but I was kind of hoping that the Steelers would lose out, throwing the Browns to get in.
Oh wow! Well, I think like one more loss will put them. I think one more win by the Steelers will put them out of playoff contention.
Yeah, I think it said something like the Browns have a chance of like 0.2, like super impossible thing. But these two teams are both basically out of the playoffs. I think the Browns are just kind of. I feel like the Bengals are kind of out of it. They're done for.
Mm-hmm.
This might be Marvin Lewis's last year as head coach. He gets more blackmail there.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns, I feel like they're kind of playing to show their fans like, hey, we're here. Like next year, like we're going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see the Browns having a statement game, especially against the division rival. I got the Browns in this one. I like their team a lot. I feel like they're the future. Yeah, I'm going to say Browns win 24-30.
Yeah. I guess, in the coming year or coming years, the Browns might be a threat in the AFC North again. They might even be a wild card team. But shoot, if it's at the Dog Pound, I mean, come on, Cleveland went in Cincy's house and whooped their ass last time. So, and the thing is, Cincy is in worse shape than before. And it seems like they've been dwindling down, as the weeks are going on. Even though they've scraped a couple of games out in recent weeks, but still, it's not going to be good enough to get them into the playoffs. Well, everybody in the AFC North won last week. So, yeah, there's like people are still, somehow hanging around. And those little teams that hang around, you really do got to watch them. But, I mean, Cincy, they haven't got past the first round of the playoffs in 18 years, I believe it was. Something like that. It's been almost 2 decades. Cleveland, like I said, Cleveland, they're proving that they want to come back. They're proving that they're a team that wants to be taken serious again for the first time in 2 or 3 decades. But, yeah. Baker's showing that he actually belongs here and that, Cleveland's coach actually has a scheme that works for Baker Mayfield because he's still playing like a college QB. And I guess, how do you play with a college QB? Have a college QB type of coach. So, yeah. And all these the thing is, AFC North teams are always known for having a good defense and beating the hell out of each other, which makes the games not really that high scoring. So I think that might be the case again. But going ahead and give me Cleveland by 6 points in this game, 21-27. Next up, we got the Tampa Bay Bucks going on the road to Jerry's World to face the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Dallas Cowboys got humiliated last week. So now I pretty much think that they don't have a choice but to win this game. Tampa Bay, they get close. I don't know what it is. It seems like they get close to beating teams where you're watching a game in the fourth quarter, like, oh my God, they can win this. Oh my God, they can win this. And then something unfortunate happens, or they just bust out, or they're on the wrong side of the ball, and the offense just busts off a play and then just puts them to sleep. Dallas, like a lot of people are saying that they're overrated, or people are giving them more credit than they deserve. And the thing is, they better step it up, or else they're going to be one and done in the playoffs if they still happen to make it. Well, they'll make it, but they're probably going to be, one and done if they don't improve their situation. But I'm gonna pick the safe bet and just go ahead and give me Dallas by 13 in this game, 13-26. What about you? Dallas, Tampa Bay. Who you got?
James is almost the quarterback. He's not Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck had a bad game against the Cowboys. The running game was nothing like the Colts. Casey Barber isn't Marlon Mack. They don't have a T.Y. Hilton. Mike Evans is kind of came and gone. I don't blame him. I'm pretty sure it's James. But yeah, this Bucks team, for some reason they keep themselves in games and they lose instead of getting blown out. But I kind of I'm scared for the Cowboys, but this is like a much mitigator for them. So I'm kind of confident that they go and they kind of punch that division. I'm gonna say it's close, but yeah, the Cowboys should pull it out. And the Cowboys go in 27-24.
All right. Next up, we got the Minnesota Vikings going on the road against the Detroit Lions. Another NFC North divisional matchup. Now it doesn't even really matter since the Bears already clinched. But who you got?
This is another game where the Vikings are definitely playing for the playoff spot, right? Wait, do they have it already, or are they playing for that last wild card spot? I'm not sure who gets to.
I think the fifth and sixth seed respectively are still the Vikings and the Seahawks.
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah, okay, the Panthers lost. Okay, yeah, I could definitely see the Vikings coming in here making sure they keep that sixth seed. Yeah, the Detroit Lions, I don't know, they've kind of been a mess. Matthew Stafford has kind of been out of it. Kenny Galladay is like their best receiver, but he's always getting locked up. They just lost Ellington last week, hamstring injury. He's out of there. I think there's second targeted receivers, like a running back, who's like the second or third string. But yeah, this Lions team is kind of defeated this year. The Vikings are playing pretty well. They just fired their offensive coordinator and kind of went back to their running, passing balance route. Yeah, I'm not gonna overthink this one. Vikings should win this one. I'm gonna say Vikings win 28-14.
Yeah. Matt Patricia showed a lot of promise at the beginning of the season, but it seems like that him and the players of the Lions are not getting along. Matt Stafford is always a solid quarterback, but like I said, I don't know what it is with them. It's just I feel like they have a few missing puzzle pieces, and I don't know what it is. And their defense isn't as scary as it used to be. But it seems like that the Vikings. It seems like they can find some kind of formula. They got some kind of formula that they can find. Hold on one second. But yeah, it seems like that they have enough tools to beat the Lions because it seems like they got the number of the season, so why not now? But going ahead and give me Minnesota in this game by 9 points. Yeah, go ahead and give me them by 9 points, 31-22. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills going on the road to Foxborough to face the New England Patriots. Who you got? Pats, Bills.
Okay, a few weeks ago, I would have been like, oh, yeah, this is another easy win for the Patriots. But, man, Tom Brady, I don't know, man. Maybe Father Time is finally caught up to him. I'm not sure. But,
oh, no.
He's regressing. This Patriots offense is kind of playing under their, I would say under their value. I mean, you got Josh Gordon, Edelman, Gronk. You got three running backs in the backfield that can all make plays. It just seems so weird that they're struggling to win these games. And the Bills are kind of on fire right now.
Yeah.
They're not winning all their games, but they're keeping them close or
Mm-hmm.
they're showing out. And Josh Allen is kind of coming into his own. The Lions stopped him on the ground and he still come out beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to them. The receivers are kind of coming into their own. Isaiah McKenzie, Zay Jones, Robert Foster. Their running backs are in shambles right now, but I think they should have them back for this game. And their defense is playing really well. And it's a divisional game, and the last time they played, it was a low-scoring game for about 3 quarters, I think.
Mm-hmm.
This might this might be my underdog pick, man.
Oh, really?
I might have the Bills winning this game against the Patriots.
At Foxborough, though?
At Foxborough, 20-17.
Wow. I think the exact opposite to where the last time that they lost 2 straight was 10 years ago. The last time they lost to the Steelers was 6 years ago. And the last time the Patriots lost 3 straight was 2002. So, yeah, 16 years ago, last time they were on a 3-game losing streak. And I think they're going to snap that 2-game losing streak this week. Buffalo and New England always have smash mouth type of games. And it seems like that Buffalo, I mean, you're right, they do keep games close. But I think that, Belichick always has something up his sleeve against Buffalo. I think he knows Buffalo very, very well, so he knows how to play them. And he knows how Buffalo's defense is going to approach Tom Brady. But, yeah, going ahead and give me New England in this game by, say 4 points, 27-31. Next up, we got the Green Bay Packers going on the road against the New York Jets. Who you got? Packers, Jets.
The Jets played pretty well these last few weeks. I kind of like the Sam Darnold's kind of coming into his own. Elijah McGuire is playing pretty decently in that backfield for him. Their defense is iffy. And the thing is, Green Bay, I don't know, man. They might shut down Aaron Rodgers. They don't have anything else to play for.
Well, yeah.
Shut them down, but
because they're already out of playoff contention, so yeah.
If they don't shut down Aaron Rodgers, I think they should win this game. If they're motivated to win it.
Yeah. Because both of these teams are out of playoff contention right now, so yeah.
Yeah, but the Jets have a rookie who kind of wants to get that experience.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see them playing out there. But Aaron Rodgers, do you really want to risk his health against the Jets in a game that doesn't matter?
Yeah, I guess not.
So I could definitely see them shutting them down. If they don't, then I got the Packers winning 27-7.
Yeah. Let's see. You got a rookie quarterback, and then you got a veteran quarterback who wants to prove that he still got it, even though he knows he's not going anywhere. Now the Jets defensively have looked good. They always do against high-powered offensive teams because that's But the thing is, Green Bay's defense has been just stinking up the place. They've been giving up. They're not the scary threat they have been in the past half decade or so. But I feel like like I said, as long as you got Aaron Rodgers, you got a chance. So this game, this might be a little bit of a close to the best kind of game, but still, even though the Jets are at home, I had Green Bay by 3 points in this game. Yeah, by 3 points. 24-21 Green Bay. Next up, a potential game of the week candidate. We got the Houston Texans going on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles. Who you got? Texans, Eagles.
This is a weird one. The Texans, I don't think they've clinched their division, right?
They are the projected second seed. They technically hold the wild card spot because New England lost.
Okay, and they beat the Colts, right? Or did they lose?
They beat the Colts.
Okay, so yeah, they basically clinched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can see them. I mean, they're probably playing for one of those 5 weeks out this week.
Yep.
But the Eagles are trying to play for that playoff spot, but they can enter when they try to can. Um, and they just with the Rams, so that's like a ton of momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And this Texas team has been kind of iffy in the passing game. Lamar Buller's kind of hurt right now.
Mm-hmm.
It should go either way, but I'm gonna bank on the Eagles. I'm gonna bank on the Eagles again.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Eagles winning this, and I say it's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a close, low-scoring game. I'm gonna say Eagles win 17-14.
Mm. Now, I'm with you, even though I have it just a little bit high scoring than you do, because it seems like, I mean, Deshaun Watson, he proves that he's the truth. And Nick Foles, like I say, I mean, he knows what he's doing just as well as Carson Wentz. And this might come down to this might actually come down to the running game, as you said. And I like Philly's running game just a little bit more. But the thing is, I think Houston has a little bit more of a threat as far as the passing game is concerned. But yeah, I mean, December, you want that ground game top. You really do want that ground game top notch. But yeah, go on ahead and give me Philly in this game, 30-27. I mean, the thing is, this game really is a pick 'em. This is a toss-up type of game. And the thing is, Philly needs this game more so than Houston. So that's why I'm going to go with them. Next up, we got a NFC South divisional matchup, even though this doesn't really matter anymore. The Atlanta Falcons going up against the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Carolina Panthers, they're actually still in the hunt, but they're going to need a hell of a lot of help. A hell of a lot of help. But yeah, who you got? Falcons, Panthers.
It's pretty bad game because I remember we had these guys projected to make the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Um, I think Julio's banged up. He might be hurt this game. He probably won't play regardless. Cam is definitely hurt. I don't know what's going on with him.
Mm-hmm.
That shoulder is definitely killing him. So I don't have a lot of faith in him, but he's got Christian McCaffrey there to kind of take some pressure off of him. Some of these teams are kind of underwhelming teams, man. So it's hard to choose. Who's at home? Is it Falcons?
No, Carolina's at home.
Carolina's at home? Yeah, I'm just going to go with the home team and win this game. Give me the Panthers winning 23-20.
Now, I've actually got the Carolina Panthers game 31-20 over Atlanta. And because Atlanta, like, they disappointed me this year. I thought they were going to have a hell of a lot better record. Shoot, I thought that it was going to be 3 out of 4 teams who made the NFC conference this year. Or the NFC South conference. But shoot, it doesn't look like that happened. I don't know if it's Matt Ryan. I don't know if it's because he's not getting the ball to Julio, or the running game is crippled, or I don't know what the hell the case is. But yeah, there's going to be some definite changes made to Atlanta in the offseason. And Carolina, they actually do still have something to fight for. But like I said, they hold the projected 9th seed, so they're going to need some help if they want to get that final playoff spot. But yeah, Cam is banged up, but they still have Christian McCaffrey and Greg Olsen. But going ahead and give me Carolina by 11 points in this game, 31-20. Next up, we got the New York Giants going on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. Now the Giants were shut out in the previous week, and the Colts shut out Dallas, who was supposed to be dangerous. What are the odds they go up against 2 divisional NFC East divisional teams 2 weeks in a row? But yeah, Indy showed that they're not going anywhere, and they're showing that they can make that 6th seed, possibly even 5th seed, if luck happens to swings in their favor, and depending on who loses. But yeah, the New York Giants are done. They're not really playing for anything, so they might go all out, balls out, and Indy's still playing for something. So this game could actually be one of the classics. So, but going ahead and give me Indy in this game, 35-28. What about you, Giants, Colts?
I'd be surprised if Odell plays this week. if he does, I don't think he's going to be 100% anyway.
Yeah.
Indy's defense is pretty decent. I don't think they're amazing, but the Giants have got shut out by the Titans, man.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like if Odell doesn't play, they can just key in on Saquon Barkley, and they're not really afraid of Eli. So I'm going to assume Odell plays. If anything, he'll probably be a decoy to the team just to kind of make sure the defense doesn't just stack the box on Saquon. But Andrew Luck, he's been having a hell of a year. And T.Y. Hilton is kind of having his revival.
Mm-hmm.
Marlon Mack's playing in the backfield pretty well, and they just got their center back last game.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys couldn't do anything about that. So, yeah, I don't think the Giants are going to be able to hold them. I'm going to say, yeah, Colts win 31 to 17.
Now, next up, we got the LA Rams going on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals, they're done. They're not playing for anything. I guess that at this point, the Rams, they don't really have anything to lose either because, I mean, they already got a playoff spot, so they can really go ahead and take this game off if they want to, which kind of wouldn't surprise me if they lost. But come on, Arizona's the worst team in the league right now. That's not going to happen. Arizona's got a lot of work to do. They're going to fall from grace. I think we're not going to see Arizona in the playoffs for at least 5 to 10 years because they're going to, in this offseason, going into the 2019-2020 season, this is going to be next year is going to be their rebuilding year. Because Fitz, he's probably going to retire at the end of this year or maybe the end of next year. We'll see. The Rams got exposed by Philly, and the thing is they're showing more and more weakness every week. And hopefully the weaknesses that Jared Goff showed can be cleaned up by playoff times. Otherwise, it's not going to matter if they get a first round bye. They could be one and done in the playoffs too. But, I mean, the Rams, they got a hell of a lot of offensive firepower. I mean, come on, they put on the game of the year against Kansas City Chiefs. So going ahead, and I'm going to play it safe and give it to the Rams by 10 points, 34-24 over Arizona. What about you, Rams Cards? Who you got?
One divisional game, so I don't want to underestimate the Cardinals too much, but their team isn't really that great. The Rams definitely.
Sorry about that, folks. I had a technical difficulty, but we were in the middle of predicting the Pittsburgh Steelers and New Orleans Saints game. But my overall conclusion was the Saints 4 points. Yeah, the Saints by 4 points. And what were you saying about what was your final score for that game?
I had the Saints winning 30-24.
All righty. Next up, we got another game of the week candidate. The Kansas City Chiefs going on the road against the Seattle Seahawks. This game can prove to be a very dangerous game for Kansas City because they might be trying to outscore Seattle, and Seattle's defense has stepped up lately. The thing is, like, whose chances do you like better if it turns into a shootout? I mean, if it's at home, I like Seattle better. But, I mean, especially since I think Seattle's defense is just slightly a little bit better, and they can get to Mahomes. They really can. But, I mean, Kansas City, they lost last game, and they lost kind of in an embarrassing fashion. So I think they might be out for blood. They might, have a little more to prove. But, shoot, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a potential Super Bowl matchup. I would love to see these two guys. I would love to see Kansas City and Seattle in the Super Bowl, me personally. But go ahead and give me Kansas City by 5 points in this game. 33-28. What about you? Seahawks, Chiefs, who you got?
I think the Seahawks, I feel like they have Kansas City's number. Just the way they play.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City is really not that great against the run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, love to run the ball. Chris Carter, the launcher. I don't know if you saw last week with goal line run.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't, you should definitely go look that up.
Yeah.
I feel like their running game is it's really good. They keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands. Mahomes has been really turnover prone lately. The Seahawks defense is actually pretty underrated, I feel like you were saying at the beginning of the season, you felt like they still had, their team. I was doubting it, but I don't know, man. They play up to their competition. I feel like their defense can give up points, but it keeps them in the game. Their defense keeps them with a fighting chance, and I feel like Pete Carroll is going to kind of run the clock on them. I don't think that Kansas City defense can stop the run that well. Yeah, I have the Seahawks winning this one. Obviously, with bias.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Seahawks upset the Chiefs. Close game, I would say Mahomes from a kick. Like in a triple coverage as usual.
Damn.
Doing that, it's so weird. But, yeah, Mahomes kind of throws that pick to seal the deal. Seahawks win 24-20.
So you see this being a lot like the Kansas City Rams game. Okay. Like I said, I got KC winning, but it wouldn't surprise me if Seattle did win. Last game, we got AFC West divisional matchup. Denver Broncos going on the road against Oakland. Both these teams are out of playoff contention, so this game kind of doesn't even really matter. It's a Christmas Eve game. But yeah, Denver, they've got potential. It's just that, they got off to a slow start, and the thing is they waited too late for to pick back up. They waited way too late to, get the ball rolling. Oakland, they got a lot of rebuilding to do. So, and I think you were right about people overrating Derek Carr. Or either that, or maybe he just had a bad year this year. But, maybe they'll get it together. Maybe they won't. And maybe there might be some coaching changes on both teams this offseason. But go on ahead and give me Denver by 9 points in this game. Who you got? Broncos, Raiders.
I definitely got Denver in this game. You know what? I hate that there's so many good teams in the AFC West out there. Yeah. Because the Broncos really have potential. Philip Lindsay is definitely up there for rookie of the year. They have some nice young receivers to fill in for Sanders and Demarius Thomas. So I don't see them losing the game to Oakland. I want to say Denver wins 24-16.
All right. Now, before we get out of here, let's have a look at this here playoff picture. As it stands in the AFC, Chiefs hold first seed, Texans hold second seed, Ravens, Patriots hold third seed, Steelers hold the fourth seed, Ravens hold the sixth seed, and Chargers hold the fifth seed. Now, I did a little bit of math concerning my Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the best that the Steelers can hope for is a bye week by taking the second seed. The Steelers can get a first-round bye if they win out and the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Patriots all lose out. Yeah, right. The thing is, we see some strange-ass shit happen, but, come on, what are the odds, really? But then again, maybe I shouldn't ask that question because it's football. Anything can happen. I think that depending on if the Texans lose and the Chargers win, the Chargers can see that second seed, especially if the Patriots drop off yet again, which they very well could. If your prediction is right, and if they lose 3 straight, the Patriots could very well drop off. Hell, we can see the Patriots in the 5th seed. They could be in an away game against the 4th seed, I believe it is. Now, in the wild card, it's the 3rd seed versus the 5th seed, the 2nd seed versus the 6th seed, I believe. So yeah, they'll be going up again. If they lose out and the worst they could do is the 5th seed, they'll be going up against the 3rd seed. But yeah, I think the Chargers might stay where they are. The Steelers, I think they're going to lose to the Saints and beat the Bengals in the season finale. So they could go. The Steelers can go anywhere between. They can be as high as 2nd, but as low as 5th. So that really does kind of change the game right there. And if you ask me in the AFC, the sixth seed is kind of where you don't want to be because the Ravens hold it right now, but they got the Colts and the Titans creeping up on them. So yeah, and another Steelers win will knock off the Browns from playoff contention. They pretty much will be eliminated from playoffs with the Steelers win. But yeah, the AFC is looking, it's pretty tight right now because it's crazy how one or two little games can change the whole landscape of the playoffs. Now the NFC, Saints, they're probably gonna. I mean, if I mean, I was sitting here hoping that the playoffs would go through the Rams in the NFC because I believe that the Rams can be beat at home. You do not want the Saints to. You do not want it to go through. You do not want the playoffs in the NFC to go through the Saints. You don't. And like I said, the Seahawks, they're probably one of the most dangerous teams in the NFC. Like I said, if you're the Rams, you don't want to face them. The Cowboys might drop off the fifth or the sixth seed. The Eagles could very well creep up in there, especially if the Vikings lose out. The Bears, you're right, they might be one of the most dangerous teams in the NFC. But yeah, that's pretty much how it's looking. But your final thoughts on this playoff picture we got here. What are your thoughts on who holds the current seeds, and do you think there's going to be any changes in any of them?
For changes in the AFC, it's a positive. I feel like if the Chiefs lose this game to the Seahawks and the Chargers beat the Ravens, I don't see the Chargers going into Denver and losing a second game to them this year.
Yeah.
Especially with Emmanuel Sanders gone now. I
don't
see it.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So yeah, I'm confident if Pete Carroll can pull this off, and that's why I was so happy that the 49ers beat the Seahawks because now they have a reason to kind of play the Chiefs hard. So that's the change I can see the most. I don't see the Patriots getting that bye week. I feel like the Texans will end up taking it. The third, fourth, fifth, and sixth seeds, they're kind of a jumble. I can see the Ravens holding on to that sixth seed stuff.
Yeah, so could I. Which means they have to face us again at home.
But okay, if they lose this week to the Chargers, they lose their sixth seed to the Colts.
Yep, especially if the Colts win. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe like. Yeah, the Ravens might lose that sixth seed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Like I said, you don't want to be in that sixth seed if you're in the AFC. That's not where you want to be.
Yeah, that sixth seed is gonna be crazy, man. I can see the Ravens barely winning it out maybe.
Yeah.
Week 17, but I feel like the entire lineup of playoff spots is interchangeable to week 17.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. With the NFC, I feel like it's pretty absolute. Saints are number one, obviously.
Yeah. Rams.
I don't see the Rams losing out. I do not see them losing any of their last two games.
Yeah.
The Bears are definitely going to be third. And then you get to those fourth, fifth, and sixth spots.
I believe they're concrete. Well, everything except the thing is, I believe there might be some changes. I believe that the Seahawks might jump a spot, the Cowboys might drop a spot, and I believe that the Vikings might lose the spot to the Eagles. The Eagles might creep up in there, but that's how I feel.
You think the Eagles are going to win out and take the NFC?
Yeah, probably. The Vikings, I think, have a harder schedule than the Eagles do.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Those final spots in the NFC are definitely kind of like the AFC.
Yeah.
Man, this is definitely an interesting year because even if these teams could definitely take it, I definitely have to see taking the fifth spot. So if they beat the Chiefs,
yeah. Like I said, the Seahawks could move up to the fourth spot over the Cowboys, especially if the Cowboys lose another one.
Oh, did they get the fourth spot?
Yes, because they're 8. Because the Seahawks have a tied record with the Cowboys. They're both 8-6.
Oh,
Yes, they're both tied.
okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, yeah. Because I thought just because they win the division, they would take that fourth spot.
Oh no. Especially if the Eagles creep up on them.
Okay, so
Because guess what? The Eagles are 7-7. The Cowboys are 8-6. They're only down by one game against them. So if the Cowboys, yeah, you see what I'm saying now?
yeah, okay. So you got the Eagles jumping to that fourth spot.
Yes. And then which means that the Vikings will be out altogether and the Cowboys will be at that 6th seed.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, you see what I mean? It's crazy now. Like the thing is, I think this week is more important than the season finale. This week is way more important than week 17 to me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. If these teams if these teams lose this week, I don't know. It makes everything crazy, especially if the Rams lose to the Cardinals.
Oh yeah. Oh. That's gonna change the game because yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I think last year the Seahawks were in the same spot, right? They barely missed out on the playoffs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could definitely see them playing this one really hard. Yeah, I'm more confident in the Seahawks beat the Chiefs now. I feel like they definitely want that spot.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys, you might be right. They might lose these next few games, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see them. Do you see them finishing 8-8?
Didn't I predict them to be 8-8 at the beginning of the season?
I think you did.
Yes, I did. But a lot of people say that if you're an 8-8, 9-7, 7-9 team, that you don't belong in the playoffs to begin with. But guess what? I disagree. If you're good, if you earn that playoff spot, guess what? You belong there, no matter how good or bad your record is.
Yeah, man, I can see the Cowboys win 8-8 and the Eagles kind of taking this one. I mean, if you beat the Rams, you're to beat anyone in the league, actually.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm with you. I feel like these last couple of spots are going to be interchangeable, and next week is definitely going to tell a lot.
Yeah. Well,
when we get back next week, we'll definitely have to revisit this.
Definitely. Well, that'll do it for this week's podcast episode, ladies and gentlemen. As always, thank you for watching. Shout out to Walls of Top who couldn't make it this week. And Flip, thank you, my brother, for hosting the show with me. Well, I appreciate it.
No problem, man.
And we will be back next week. Peace.